The Trade Order was an organization of worlds of powerful commercial and industrial might. Members of each world could keep their governmental systems, culture, and beliefs if it didn't contradict the Trade Order's code of ethics. During the reign of the Trade Order, wars and conflicts became a thing of the past. Wars and major conflicts had not taken place for over 1,000 years, and the occasional pirate raiders were handled by local defense forces. That all changed with the arrival of Vasari. The Vasari swept through the outer worlds with little opposition, and victory over the Trade Order seemed almost certain. As a last resort, the Coral Worlds created the Trader Emergency Coalition, known as the TEC. The TEC brought the industrial and economic might of the member worlds to bear on converting many of the civilian trader ships into military craft. What they lacked for in quality, they made up for in quantity. Time will only tell if the strategy and final defense will work. The TEC, like all SIN's factions, have 6 categories of research: military, defense, civilian, diplomacy, fleet logistics, and artifacts, but really only these first 4 qualify as pure research. In structural subsystems, you can do things like increase shield strength, increase the hull points of your ships and the rate at which they're repaired after battles. You can increase the maximum amount of antimatter they can carry and how fast it regenerates, and you can improve the armor strength of your ships as well. The TEC are experts in ballistics and rocketry. You can research things here like increasing your autocannon damage, increase the beam weapon damage that your ships can deal out, and research improved missile technologies. Experimental design is the final branch in the military category. Here you can do things like gain access to new ship types. You can research repair platforms, which will speed the repair of your ships after they've been damaged in battle. And you can gain access to the Novolith cannon, which is the TEC's super weapon. You can also research and gain access to the Titan Foundry. When that's complete, you can build your faction's Titan. The defense category, unlike the military category, only has 1 branch, and in this branch you can do some nifty things, like you can increase the firepower of your Gauss defense cannons, or you can increase their firing range. You can research placing flak turrets on your hangar defense platforms so they can better withstand attacks from enemy strike craft. You can research planetary shields so that once in place you can withstand enemy bombardments later. And through the heavy constructor, once that's researched, you can gain access to your star bases. The civilian category is important because this is where you build the economic base to support your military fleets. In this category you have 3 branches: industry, engineering, and policy. In the industry section you can do things like increase the crystal extraction of your extractors by 40%, and you do the same for the metal extractors, and the TEC get access to this technology sooner than the other 2 factions. In the engineering section you can gain access to other planets through colonization research, like ocean planets and Ferris planets. You can also increase the population cap on your Terran planets and other planets, and that results in more people. And with more people, you can get more taxes, which will give you a stronger economic base to build more military stuff. In the policy section, you can build broadcast centers. This will broadcast your culture throughout the galaxy and maybe peacefully get a couple of planets to join your empire without having to blow them up and all that fun stuff. You can also increase the hull strength of your civilian trader ships. Diplomacy is where you play nice with other empires. In this section you can research the Neruda, I think that's how you say it, Neruda prototype, which is an envoy cruiser. You send this guy to other players' planets so they can, and it helps improve relationships between your empire and theirs. You can research cultural mastery. This gives you better relationships with other empires you run into. And you can even research bounty hunting, and that gives you the ability to ask other empires to do your dirty work for you, like blowing up ships and structures and all kinds of neat stuff like that. TEC ship weaponry consists of lasers, autocannons, and missiles. Frigates use the least amount of credits, metal, and crystal to be constructed of all the factions. TEC build times are also the fastest, plus their ships use the least amount of supply points as compared to the other factions. They have durable hulls, although Advent ships are a little bit better. The TEC also have the best armor of all the factions, but offensively their frigates have the least amount of output damage.
Capital ships have the same weaponry and defense capabilities as frigates, and still hold the distinction of being the cheapest and fastest ships to build of all the factions, and as a general rule cost less than credits to build. Although weak in shield strength, they more than make up for this with their tough hulls and high amount of armor. As the war slowly drug on, the TEC split into two factions, the Loyalists and the Rebels. The Loyalists are tired of war and all its associated costs. They've decided to dig in and win the war through attrition. To do this, they focus on building up their defensive capabilities. One technology they developed is hardened defenses. Once this level 6 defense technology is finished, tactical structure armor is increased by 2.0. Ships that are in Loyalist gravity wells have their hull strength increased by 30% as well. They've also focused on compartmentalization, which reduces the cost of upgrading their starbases by 20% when researched. The Loyalists have also focused on Novolith technology, which is their super weapon. Because of their extensive focus on defense, they can research this technology at Tech Level 6, unlike their Rebel counterparts who have to wait till they achieve Tech Level 8. They can also research Novolith deregulation, which decreases the slot requirement for this weapon by 3, plus it reduces the cost of building it by 25%. The crowning achievement of their defensive efforts is the Twin Fortress technology. Completing this research allows them to support 2 starbases in their gravity wells instead of 1. They're the only faction capable of achieving this technology. The Loyalists have several other technologies that are unique to them. You can see a detailed breakdown of this at the Loner Strategy Games website. The Loyalists also have the Enkylon Titan, a massive warship capable of adding a vast amount of defensive capabilities to their fleets when present and in the range of those fleets. Their Titan and the Titans for the other factions are covered in detail in the Titans video. The TEC Rebels, unlike their Loyalist counterparts, are both aggressive and ruthless. They detest any species other than humans and prefer to crush them rather than negotiate with them. Their hatred has been fueled by decades of war, and they can team up with pirate factions to take out enemy empires. High-order explosives can be researched by the Rebels. This technology is available in the military research branch under ballistics and rockery, and requires 6 military labs to be built before it can be researched. Once researched, damage inflicted by autocannons increases by 40%. This is achieved by adding internal explosives to autocannon shells.
Do not fail us in this task.
Petty bickering between your empire and the pirates has ended after completing research on the Truce Amongst Rogues technology, which is a Tech 4 diplomatic research item. Once this treaty is formed, pirates will no longer attack you. Peace is now the rule, and your ships will be treated as friendlies by the pirates. As a matter of fact, the pirates like rebels so much that they decide to become your very best friends once pirate mercenaries research is finished. With this ability enabled, you can bribe the pirates to attack other factions and get military assistance from them using your broadcast centers. The rebels have several other unique abilities that are discussed in detail at the Loner Strategy Games website. Once Titan Foundry research is completed, Tech Rebels can build a Titan Foundry and begin construction of the Ragnarok Titan, a massive warship with tremendous firepower. Their Titan and Titans for the other factions are covered in detail in the Titans video. I hope you enjoyed this look at the TEC faction for Sons of the Solar Empire. You can read more about the game at our website, lonerstrategygames.com.